Today we're interviewing Gary Paulsen, who wrote the book Hatchet. Gary, tell us a little bit about the book.
Okay, so the novel is placed in a forest deep in northern Canada. It's around present day that the novel is placed, and the circumstances: Brian's plane crashes, and he only has a hatchet to keep himself alive.
Why don't you tell me some of the key characters in your book?
Right. The main character in the novel is Brian Robertson. He's a resourceful 13-year-old boy who is also very brave because he uses what is around him to his advantage.
Why don't you tell me some plot points in your book?
A few of the major plot points in the novel I can tell you about is the pilot has a heart attack while flying the plane with Brian. Brian has to try to fly the plane, and when the fuel runs out, he crashes. Brian crashes into a lake and tries to save himself. The first time Brian finds berry bushes for food, and then Brian learns how to build a fire using his hatchet, making sparks. The need for meat makes Brian build a bow and arrow, and he also makes a fishing line to get fish. And then Brian's struck with bad luck, and a tornado hits his shelter, which ends up being good luck because it stirs up the plane so that the tail's pointing out and he can get to the survival pack. Now Brian has a chance to get the survival pack, and all the contents inside of it will help him. Brian finds the emergency transmitter, which he accidentally turns on and causes a plane to come down and find him.
That was very interesting, and it sounds like a very good novel. So why don't you tell me, who is the target audience in your book? Go.
The directed audience of the book would most likely be young teenagers who are looking to learn new survival techniques, or just anyone who wants to know how to survive out in the wilderness, really.
Interesting. How would you say your writing style is different from other books?
I like to write with a very positive mood to my novel. For this particular novel, I wrote in third person. Also, I like to use metaphors and similes to get my message through to the reader.
So, what are some overall themes that go with your book?
The first message I was trying to emphasize in human nature was that we take a lot of things for granted and we don't appreciate what we have. A direct quote from the novel was, at the end of the book I wrote how Brian has become more conservative of everything he has. Also, another message I was trying to convey is that not everyone will turn savage, and humans will keep their cool if brought into these circumstances. Brian says to himself, "I need to keep going, I can't die now."
That was very interesting. And I'd like to thank Gary Paulsen for being on our show. A round of applause. Thank you.